We are the Lab Doctors. I'm Amanda.
I'm Dorothy.
And I'm Zhao Yong.
We are biomedical researchers who realized we still have a lot to learn about science.
So why not join us on this quest?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lab Doctors. So this week we'll be talking about picky eating. So on today's episode, you, the listeners, are going to get to know us a bit better because I'll be asking everyone a series of questions. Then I'll tell you about the research or the science basically.
Okay.
Wait, you mean like there is research for every single type of food?
No. So a lot of the research done is like correlations to other things. So it's kind of like a pseudo experiment to see whether we fit into their population or we fit into the correlations that they found.
Okay.
So don't think too hard. First thought, best thought. So just answer. Okay, so there are actually two sets of articles that I found on Science Daily. And if we haven't hyped up Science Daily enough. Okay, so basically there's childhood and adult picky eating. So there's two types. Before we dive in, let's start with definitions. So picky eating is eating a limited amount of food, rejection of novel foods, and strong food preferences. So picky eating, or PE for short, is common during childhood and is often concerning to parents. So, okay, not the best experimental setup, but yes, we'll just go with the law of averages and hopefully you'll find something. Okay, we'll go in talking about childhood picky eating. So the first question is, are you a picky eater? Pick from low, medium, or high picky eater. So high means you are picky and low means you are not so.
As in, we rank ourselves?
Yeah, I mean, all this is self-assessment. Oh, okay, so maybe we'll go Zhao Yong, Dorothy, and then I'll answer last.
Sure. I feel like I'm medium. I'm not too picky, but I'm very picky about the things that I'm picky about.
Yes.
Like onion.
Yeah, exactly. So,
okay, medium.
Medium.
That will be your stance?
Yeah. Do I need to keep track of my answer?
You can or you don't. There's one set of questions you have to keep track, but other than that, you can
I'll
go with the
keep
flow.
track so far.
Sure.
Okay, I'm definitely a high picky eater. You remember like there's this list of food trending in Facebook?
Yes.
And then it's like, how many of the food do you eat?
Yeah.
But basically in the whole list of like maybe 40 foods, I eat like 10% of, maybe slightly more. 15% of it or something.
As in, but I remember you clarified though, as in you said you were quite lenient with yourself and if you will kind of eat it. Yeah.
If I'm very strict, it's like 10%, I'm pretty sure. If it's like lenient, like carrot, then it'd be like, oh, carrot cooked in Jap curry. Okay. I count that I eat carrots. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm low picky eater because I eat a lot of things. So now we have medium, high, and low.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. Next question. What is your biological sex?
I'm female.
Male?
Female as well. Are you firstborn or
What's
not?
happening?
No, just answer it honestly. Are you firstborn or not?
I feel like this is a psychological test that we took last week, but it's like not.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it.
No, it's not just.
No, I am last.
Okay.
I'm the middle. And Amanda's the first.
No, I'm not
last.
last. I haven't.
Oh my god, yes. I forgot your sister.
Oh my gosh. I was going to say, actually I know the answers for most of these questions, but I'll ask it anyway for the benefit of the
My mind is
listeners.
gone. I'm sorry,
But I
Amanda
guess-
sister, if you're listening. I completely forgot. Next question.
Sorry. Okay, in your opinion, are you good at regulating your emotions?
Absolutely not.
I would say I'm better than Zhao Yong.
I think I'm generally good at regulating my emotion, but I don't know. Like a self-assessment that could be a...
But I feel like it depends on what type of emotions also. You know? Like, I can't regulate anger well, but I regulate everything else quite well, I would say.
Yeah, so maybe
Right?
we're all average. It's
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
But I would just say absolutely not.
Okay.
Just in case. I'm fine with
Yes.
that.
First thought, best thought. Okay,
Yeah.
finally, the last question for this section is, are you prone to rapid exaggerated changes in mood?
Yes.
So, okay, the example that they give is uncontrollable, like laughter or like sudden crying, or rage, So, but it's very exaggerated changes. It's something called emotional lability, which I've never heard of, but basically when I googled it, it says rapid exaggerated changes in mood. So, are you
I
prone?
feel like that's me.
Okay.
I like laugh very quickly, but I also fly into a rage very quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's like, I would give him an 8 out of 10 exaggeration.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. Yes.
Okay. Dorothy?
I think I am 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so basically all these questions were a demographic thing. So they just grouped everyone into low, medium, or high picky eating trajectories.
Okay.
But let's just simplify it to groups, and then they kind of assess whether it's associated with any of these population factors.
Right. So it's a correlation study.
Yeah. So certain characteristics have been associated with the persistence of picky eating, including being male, being the firstborn, having low emotional regulation, and high emotional lability, which is you're prone to rapid exaggerated changes in mood.
That's not me.
The thing about picky eating studies is there's not very standardized measures.
Yeah.
So take all this with a grain of salt, but this is what the study says.
Okay.
This study, it referenced other studies as well. So other factors for picky eating include coming from a lower income family or younger age. So this is in childhood. If the child is generally younger, they are more likely to be picky eaters, and as they grow up, they tend to be less picky. Okay, so picky eating was not associated with maternal age, maternal race or ethnicity, or even BMI in this paper, so body mass index, which is surprising. But let's talk about BMI in the next section. Okay, so next set of questions. We're still in childhood picky eating.
Okay.
So from what age do you think you were a picky eater?
Zhao Yong.
Ever since I had memory, I feel like three or four.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
Dorothy?
Same.
Okay, so I'm not a picky eater, so I can't really answer this question, so I will pass. Were your parents, guardians, or people who gave you food or regulated your food intake strict about food?
No.
Okay.
I think probably
It can be like
not.
no, medium, or yes, I guess.
Medium. So they'll still ask me to try, but if I hate it, they won't force me to continue to eat it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say no, because my mom, last time, like many years ago, like 20 years ago, she was also quite picky. So I guess it's like my mother don't eat, so I can don't eat.
Like she understands the pains of
She has no position to force you to, because she doesn't eat it herself.
Okay, interesting. Okay, last question, TMI, but if you're willing to answer, do you have hard stools? So are your shits hard, basically?
No, they are so soft and annoying.
You have to go back to the stools episode.
The best would be the hot dog,
dog.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say definitely not at the hard side for me.
Okay, Dorothy, do you have hard stools? You're like the
I
weirdest interviewer ever.
I think the most often is like the acceptable one, but once in a while, like. But I feel like mine is more based on my water intake. Yeah, rather than like vegetable intake, which is what people say to me.
Okay, so picky eating apparently is established from age 4, which
it's
you all
about-
seem to be around where
Yeah.
you guys sit. Oh, but the interesting thing is the more parents try to control or restrict their children's diet, the more likely the child is to become a picky eater, which seems to not be the case in both your experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I found very interesting. I was like, oh, that's... I would have thought parents who not let their kids be picky eaters would generally give... Wait, how do you say? Like, generally the kids will turn out less picky.
I'm wondering if the picky eater would mean like, I want to eat the food that you have restricted me to.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I think definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like if you
Okay.
force me to eat vegetable, then all the more I'll be like, no, I want to eat potato chips or something.
Yes. Or like you don't let me eat like French fries, right?
Yeah.
And then all the more I want to eat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that side rather than the flip, which is forcing you to eat everything.
True. Okay. So the good thing is that while some picky eaters have a lower BMI, most are still in the healthy range and not underweight. So this study is saying it's fine if your child is a picky eater as long as they are healthy. Okay, but other studies have reported that picky eating is associated with low dietary fiber intake, particularly from vegetables. So there's usually the observation that there's an increased prevalence of hard stools among picky eaters.
Right.
Okay, I was thinking about this, right? And I'm like, the part about the BMI and how personally for me, whom I think I'm a picky eater, I'm still in the healthy range. I just wonder if like our bodies get used to us and our diets throughout our lifetime. Like if you eat a lot of sugary stuff, then maybe your body absorbs less sugar, like more often. And then like on the rare occasion you eat like vegetables and then they'll absorb like everything.
Maybe. I mean, I think there's still a baseline that you have to hit. I mean, that's how I think it works. Yeah. But I mean, everybody's body is different, so it's very hard to say.
Yeah, I would say if it is not too out of the norm, you know, it's like you're practically avoiding an entire category of food, like let's say grains, like you completely forget to eat like rice or like completely don't eat protein. Yeah, then maybe that would cause some big issue. But other than that, I think your body is capable of adapting to what you're given.
Yeah. I mean, like people grew up during the war and stuff like that, so
It's true.
I mean, it's true. Like,
sweet potato, tapioca.
yeah, and they still eventually grow up to be mostly fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, before we move on to the next section, since we're talking about childhood picky eating, do you guys think that you can grow out of picky eating, and what are some of the things that you used to hate but will tolerate now? So, okay, maybe I'll start. For me, I didn't used to like vegetables, quite a lot of vegetables. But I mean, now maybe I still don't like the taste that much, but I'm motivated by it's good for me, so I will
Really?
eat it.
You can turn completely vegetarian now, which is like crazy.
Yeah, which I never thought. I mean, okay, but I wasn't a picky eater from the start, so I think it's fine. So I always say part of being an adult is knowing that some things are good for me even though I don't like to eat it, so I will just eat it. So what do you all think?
Eggs for me.
Oh,
So last time when I was very young, so anything egg related or dairy related, I absolutely hated.
What? I love eggs.
Yeah. Even now, like hard boiled, I still can't really take that. Soft boiled, it depends on my mood. But like, in general, I can still eat eggs. It's just that, in the past, I absolutely couldn't eat it. I don't know what changed though.
Wow.
Just started to taste nice. Yeah.
I've never noticed. I think for me, it's mainly vegetables. I think as you grow older, like what Amanda said, you just know what will be good for you, and then you have to force yourself to eat it. And like I guess when you're older, you can also like learn to appreciate different cooking styles, and then you choose what is nice to you and you eat it in that form.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. That's part 1. So now we'll move on to part 2, which is adult picky eating. So most of this is from a study where they conducted this picky eating whole experiment on college age students, but just classify them as adults here. So this study has 2 parts. So how picky eating relates to the first one is dietary consumption, and second one is psychosocial outcomes. Okay, so we'll start with the relationship between picky eating and dietary consumption. So do you eat enough fiber and vegetables? That's the first question.
No, I don't think so.
I think so. I try to. At least every meal have a bit of vegetables. Yeah.
Okay, so this study found that picky eaters ate significantly less fiber and vegetables, which I think totally tracks in our demographic, where low, medium, high corresponds with the intake of fiber and vegetables.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's basically it for dietary consumption. Everything else was a bit boring. So anyway, the next thing that we'll go into is psychosocial outcomes. There were quite a few, but I'm just going to go through some. So the first thing that I'll ask is picky eating a part of your identity? So does it come up often in conversation or anything like that?
For me, for sure. Like, my family will be like, yeah, she's such a picky eater. I'm the kind who's like okay to eat the same thing and I can eat it consecutively. That's me.
I wouldn't say it comes up in conversations a lot. It comes up in conversations about food.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, what do you want to eat? And I'm like, just not Korean because Korean has lots of onions. Yeah, so again, I would say it's like middle. It's like
Which is
medium
fine,
part of
okay? Which is
identity.
fine. You
Yeah.
are the medium of the picky eater scale, so it's
Yeah,
fine that you are
exactly, which is
medium.
what-
Okay, so this one
I'm
is a
just
bit.
very disturbed by how accurate it is.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
This one is a bit like but the paper says picky eating behaviors were positively correlated with picky eating identity. So generally, it will come up more and it will be more part of your identity if you are a picky eater, and if you're not,
Yeah.
then it just doesn't
I don't
come up
feel
as
ashamed
often.
of it.
No, it's not
Yeah,
a shame
okay,
thing.
yeah.
It's just that it comes up, you know?
Yeah, as in, I think because you don't feel shame about it, that's why you are willing to bring it up,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and
so
all the more
think-
I do, because like
makes sense.
somebody will be like wanting to eat this and I'm like, I don't want to eat this, can you order something else? And then I'll feel a bit bad, but I will like try to squeeze my way through because I really don't want to eat something else.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So like the last set of things that I'll go into is social phobia. So this is one of the psychosocial outcomes that they tested in this study. So this paper, okay, I'm going to throw a bit of shade, but it did not state the exact questions that they used from the survey, or at least I couldn't
Right.
find it in the full text or supplementary material. And
Right.
do you really expect me to look further? I feel like I downloaded the supplementary material, and if it's not there, it's not a good paper.
Should have went to the clinical trials website, Amanda.
Okay, but anyway, I found the original paper that they cited, which had the
Okay.
original 20 questions, but they said in the methods that they modified it to be a bit more food related. So I kind of used my better judgment and came up with the questions based on the survey. So I think it's too complicated to rate 1 to 5, so you can just answer these questions yes, no, or neutral.
Okay.
And this is the part that I want you guys to keep track because there are 7 questions total.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's social phobia, so you just assume that it's in a general setting, I guess. Does that
Okay.
make sense? So if it says like in front of people, just assume that you don't know the people.
Okay.
It's not like in a friends or family kind of environment. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, number 1. I become anxious if I have to eat in front of people. So yes, no, neutral.
No.
Okay. Dorothy?
Is that a tough?
Oh, sorry. So I'm like typing in our Google Docs and assuming they already, but I realized that listeners cannot see our Google Docs. I typed an
Okay.
N, so that's a no.
Okay, next. I get nervous that people are staring at me eat.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I would get tense if I had to eat facing other people.
No.
No.
Okay. I would find it difficult to eat something if in a group of people.
No.
It's fine. Don't have to get so angry. Oh my goodness.
No, I'm so confused at like what's the purpose of these questions?
Just
But okay,
answer
yeah.
them, okay? It's for scientific purposes. In my shoddy experiment that I came up with just now.
Okay.
It would make me self-conscious to eat in front of a stranger at a restaurant. So
Hold
imagine
up.
the person sitting across you.
I'm just
No,
very confused.
I don't
Like, am
think
I alone?
Yes.
Because that's a very big thing to me. Am I alone in all of this? Like, I cannot eat alone.
I think for the sake of this experiment, you should assume yes.
Okay, I'm alone. Yes, then I would be conscious eating in front of a stranger at a restaurant.
Okay, I would get tense if I had to carry a tray across a crowded cafeteria.
Yes, I will mumble to myself actually. Like, I'll be like, and then if I'm gonna bang someone, I'll just be like, oops, and I'll be like, ah. I'll make weird noises that people cannot hear.
Yeah, I would be nervous also because I'm scared that I'll bang into people.
Okay. The last one is I get tense when I eat in front of other people.
Isn't that the same as...
Wait, yeah, isn't
Oh, wait. No,
Did
one
it
of
repeat?
it just now was facing other people.
No, the first one.
So-
I become anxious
the first
if
one.
I have to.
I don't know, tense, anxious. Yeah, it was in the question. I just
Oh,
changed all the
no.
things to like eating because they said they chose 7 questions and they changed
Okay.
it to like eating scenarios. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you guys answered, so no for both of you.
Yeah.
Now I'm confused because I have to think of it as when I'm eating by myself. Yes.
Okay, you can
I
go
might
through
have to change my answers at the start.
Okay, you can. Okay, we'll let Dorothy change some answers.
Okay.
Oh, so Zhao Yong, I guess for you, you can total up how many no's, yes, or mediums, neutrals, I guess, that you have.
I have 6 no's, 1 yes.
Okay.
So we're laughing because upon thinking of this, all my answers are yes.
Okay, so I guess I'll just give everyone the breakdown for my answers. My answers to all of these are no, because honestly the food is the priority and I don't really care about everything else.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we have me, who is no to everything, Zhao Yong, who is no to 6 questions and yes to 1 question.
Yes, the one. Yeah.
And we have Dorothy, who is yes to everything. Okay, so if you don't remember, I'm low picky eater, Zhao Yong is medium, and Dorothy is high.
Yeah.
So this paper says picky eating is associated with greater levels of social phobia, specifically in food-related situations.
Oh.
Yeah, so the paper also reports that picky eating is associated with overall and situational distress. So the situational distress is mostly to do with eating. So I think the questionnaire was like eating and food scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
And picky eating was also associated with a lower quality of life. So quality of life looks into everything. So like mental, physical, emotional, that kind of thing. So I think I've come to the end of my questionnaire and getting to know yourself and how you fall into the picky eating population. So
Yeah.
I don't know, what do y'all think? I know Dorothy's a bit like she looks very conflicted now.
But I just feel like all my answers are yes, more like because I cannot eat alone because I'm just socially awkward like that. Like I feel like people will judge me rather than because people judge me for my food.
I feel like this is the only area you're socially awkward in though.
Yeah. Like I'm okay. I think I would be like 90% okay with people looking at me. Like I just pick out my onions in front of people and my taugeh. I just do whatever I want. But like if I'm alone, then it's different.
As in, it's a bit conflicting to me because I'm like, people who are usually more picky eaters take a big part of it as their identity. Then why would they be socially anxious, when they eat alone and stuff?
Yeah, that's true. It's conflicting.
But then I don't know if they specify whether it's alone and all that. So
Yeah.
but I think it's difficult because like generally I think you're more honest about like your reaction when you are alone versus when you are in the comfort of other people, which is why
True.
that's
Yeah.
where I came from.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like it might confound if you're around friends or like family or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
okay, yeah, so I thought it was quite interesting that there's like all these like I didn't know people actually like studied picky eating, but apparently they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I learned quite a lot in like all this. So we'll link all the articles in the description. So if you want to read it and check it out, then you can just read it.
Yeah, and I think for this study especially, I guess for our listeners, correlation is not causation. So that means that all these things, there's a pattern, but that doesn't mean that one causes the other or the other causes one. What am I saying?
Yes.
That makes sense, right?
Yes, it does. It does. We always say this: correlation is not causation, so it's very important to make that distinction.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess picky eating is actually quite interesting to study because it would determine your health to a certain extent in the future. So I guess it's something important and like maybe for parents you would be a bit concerned also. But yeah, I would like to thank Amanda for making this a fun one. I wasn't expecting this random questionnaire. So thank you for that.
No worries. I was just once I got into it, I couldn't stop.
Passionate.
Yes.
Yes.
I just wanted to find out about y'all because I was like, it's no. Everything's no for me.
Like
so
you
I'm
can't-
like,
you
is this
can't
even going to be
understand.
fun? Yeah, I couldn't understand. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. And I hope y'all learned something about picky eating.
I've learned that I'm way more broken than I realized.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm just a bit
I'm kidding, I'm
worried
kidding, I'm
about
kidding.
the psychosocial
If y'all
part.
want to wait, I can find it now.
Nah, I'm good. And as usual, follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. A like and a comment would really help us out.
You can also follow us on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Feel free to DM us any questions.
Alternatively, you can email us at thelabdoctors@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this episode or any other episode, please share it with your friends. Thank you.
Bye!